Hello, my friends. It's Andy over at COVID-19 Live TV. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this channel yet, but I did get the URL and I did create the Facebook page and a whole bunch of stuff. I just feel like there's something there. Like we need something, what's it called? Like a comedy relief or something other than just your, report on don't touch your face, don't pick your nose, make sure that you go get toilet paper, whatever the case is. Whatever it is that is happening that is causing stress, I'm hoping that by doing this show, we can do other stuff. So I thought I would just bring you into my kitchen as I'm cooking dinner tonight. And if you have any questions or anything you want to comment on or anything like that, feel free to do so as I'm cooking. I'm not telling you that I'm a chef and know exactly what I'm doing either. If you see me doing something that can be done better, I want you to tell me. And that way we all can learn during this period of time while we are cooking. As you're joining, if you wouldn't mind saying hi in the chat and say, hey, we're watching or I'm watching, and let me know what it is you want to see. I'm looking at my other screen over here because it's not showing anything. I thought it would show my video. Make sure and let me know that you can hear me okay. Because I'm using my wireless mic connected through the Rode mic configuration. But what I'm cooking today, and I'm going to go ahead and share my other screen here, is, there we go, is something called hanger steak. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can do this correctly. Maybe you can't see it or not, but it's called hanger steak. If you don't know what that is, what they've told me is it's the part of the cow that is the preferred meat, and usually it's also called the butcher cut. The butcher would save this portion of the meat and not sell it because it was the best part of the cow as they were cooking it. Yeah, really. So what I'm doing right now is I'm heating my my iron pan. There's another name for it. Somebody tell me what that name is. Iron. There's like more to it, right? Cast iron pan here. So that you want to get it to a high temperature so that when you put it on there, it starts cooking right away. I want to sear both sides of the steak, and then I'll turn down the heat, and then it'll allow it to cook a little bit more. I like a rare steak, by the way. I not quite still living, but fairly close, somewhere in the really pink area of cooking the steak. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to go ahead and cut open this avocado here and make like a little bit of an avocado balsamic vinegar little side dish as I'm doing that. And so this is what I do. There's a couple thoughts though I wanted to talk about while I was on here, and one of them is, and this actually is not going to be happy. I'm sorry, I got to go to the trash can over here really quick. And that is, and this is not, and I'm sorry that I have to bring this up, but I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and I kind of been wanting to do a couple shows on it, but I'm really not quite sure what to do. I see people are watching, but you guys aren't telling me, where you are, where you're watching from, what it is you want to hear. But this is a little bit of a downer. I just want to go down this road just a second because I want you to begin to think about these children. There's a group of children that I know exist that their school and being away from home was the best part of their day. And it kind of makes me a little bit of emotional because I don't know if you know that I was a police officer with the city of Anaheim for many years. I was also a family crimes detective, sex crimes detective, and investigated child abuse cases and that kind of stuff. So I really got to thinking, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, there is a group of children that are now having to be stuck at home with people they really don't like and really don't take care of them. And I know this is really a downer road, but I know that it has to be discussed, and I know that it has to be addressed. And I'm hoping that Child Protective Services is still on duty and aware of all this kind of stuff, because we have to think about those children that are now put in a situation where they are probably happiest not being in a home with their family. So I know I'm bringing it into a downer. We're gonna change back, but I just wanted you to kind of think about that and really think about, maybe, do you know anybody that needs to be checked on And I'm not telling you to report anybody if there's no legal reason or important reason. Just, I want you to think about it. What is it there? I don't know. I don't know if there's a solution. I don't know if there's a way to think about it. But it's just something that's been on my heart the last couple of days to mention, and I may mention in another show, is that there are kids that are now in a situation where they don't necessarily want to be. So just begin thinking about that. So sorry, just want to throw that out there. All right. So as my pan is getting cooked here, and I see people, there are people watching. So there's people that are either bored to tears and nothing else to do, but nobody's commenting yet. I need some comments. I see you're watching because I can see with the eyeball that's there on StreamYard that you're watching. So I'm going to start cooking. I'm still waiting for this pan to get heated up at a temperature that can be utilized there. I'm going to go ahead and just show what I'm doing here. And so what I'm doing is I'm gonna cut. Oops, sorry, I forgot to take out the skin. So you can see that I got a little bit of my. Oh, this whiskey, by the way, is so good. This whiskey that I got, it's called Jameson's Cold Brew. It's whiskey and coffee. It really is tasty, by the way, super tasty, and you're gonna want some. So I'm taking off the skin of the avocado there. And I'm just going to take and slice my avocado into little thin slices here. Just like so. And I'm cooking for one because I don't have my kids. My kids are at their mom's for a couple days, and I get them back on Tuesday. I've had them here for 2 weeks, so it has been nice, but it is weird because normally I'm cooking, 3 meals a day. All right, so now I'm going to take my avocado and I'm going to spread it out. Now, when you eat by yourself, you don't need to be so fancy, and presentation isn't necessarily everything when you're eating alone. But I do like my food to look. Oh my gosh, that avocado is so good. I got it at Bristol Farms. All right. I would never know how good the whiskey is. What? Really? You eat it too fast? All right, I'm gonna go back to my There we go. All right, so we got the avocado there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little olive oil on here. Hopefully you can see this in the split screen. Just put a little olive oil, sprinkle it on there. Oops, that's a little more than a little, but it's okay. And a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Oh yeah, so tasty. And that is going to be my little side dish. I like to use a little sea salt. Nice. So tasty. And some pepper. Ah, so good. There you go. So how does that look? Pretty good. All right. Oops, hopefully it doesn't. I almost dumped it on the floor. All right. Another thing I got at a place called The Butchery is where I got, is where I got the steak. Oh, I did drop one on the ground. Is these mushrooms. Can you see these mushrooms? They are burgundy wine marinated mushrooms. I'm going to have a little of those on the side too. It's going to be so good on that steak. All right. So the hanger steak, like I said before, is supposedly the butcher cut, which is the best part of the steak. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up here. And it's so tender and tasty. You've seen me post pictures before if you're on my personal page of this steak. It is always a little bit of an elongated steak. This was the smaller of the three that were on there. And you can see that it's kind of just this long steak. And again, they told me what part of the cow this was from, but I've forgotten which part of the cow that it's from. It's so tasty. It's so tender when it gets cooked, and it's so good. I've made it for friends of mine, not David Everett, who's on right now. So my friend David, my neighbor David Everett's on right now. Once again, I don't get invited. No, because you might have the corona. Yeah. Hey, Gerardo, nice to see you. I would never know how good the whiskey is. What are you cooking? I'm cooking a hanger steak, and oh, and I also have this too. I'm gonna have a little bit of ceviche along with. Oh, my phone just got knocked cockeyed here. Sorry, hold on. Sorry for my hand. Hold on, sorry for my hand. There we go. All right, got a little ceviche that I got from Tokyo, the Tokyo market. I also got some sushi too for a little bit later on. So I got that. So I'm gonna have some mushrooms, avocado, ceviche with my steak. And the only thing I do to the steak is I pepper it on, of course, both sides. And you want to be pretty generous. I like to be, fairly generous on the salt and pepper. I love to have that outside cooked, really, really seared. Kind of rub it in there, and then flip it over, and do the same thing. Don't forget to clean your salt and pepper shakers if you touch the meat. That's always important to wash them after you've done all this, because your hands transfer the meat juices and everything to those containers. So I always clean them after I use them. Yes, nice. Kind of rub it in there, and then get the extra that's kind of laying around there. Oh, so good. The hanger steak is amazing. Again, I get this at the butchery, which is here in Brea, California. Oh, so good. Looks like that's doing pretty good. All right, wash my hands off. A little soap. Wash your fingers. Wash the tips of your fingers. All right, I see lots of people watching. I want you guys to comment. It is not fair that you guys get to watch and don't comment. All right, so I got the hanger steak. It's there. It's got the salt and pepper on it. I do sometimes put some garlic on there. I'll show you what I use for garlic. Hold on. Where'd it go? Maybe I used it all. Maybe it's a good thing that I didn't mention that I was going to use it beforehand. Oh, there it is. Found it. So I don't mind putting a little bit of minced garlic. You can mince your own and cut it, of course, or you can take a little bit and just spread it on there. It doesn't hurt to do that either. Oh man, my mouth is watering just thinking about the steak. The steak is always the best. Always the best. All right. So I'm gonna put it on one side just for fun. Anybody else have any ideas of what you should do with a hanger steak? Go ahead and feel free to mention them to me. I'm just gonna wait for the pan to get up a little bit higher temperature. I really like to have the iron skillet to a really high temperature, so that when I put the butter in there, which is going to be next, I'll put the butter in there and then throw the steak right on top of the butter as it's kind of sizzling, and cook that one side. Then I'll throw some more butter in there and then flip it over and cook that one side. On a hanger steak, there's essentially 4 sides that I like to cook. You may not. You may not like to cook one side on top, one side on bottom, and kind of leave the sides a little bit more undercooked or not as cooked as much. But I kind of, it depends. I'm going to look and see how it cooks, but I kind of like to get all 4 of the sides, get that nice crispy crust on the, I don't know what else to call it, on the outside of the steak, and then the inside is really tender. That's what I prefer. Everybody has their own thing they like to do. All right. What's up, guys? You're watching but not commenting. I need some more comments. Let's go. And so iron skillet, I forgot where I got this. I have a neighbor down the street. Everett knows him. He actually sells skillets, he used to sell skillets at flea markets and the Orange County Fairgrounds, I think, and something like that. But you can get iron skillets at the butchery is where I got this one. But I really love the iron skillet. It seems to make a difference in the way the meat tastes. So excuse me while I go to the trash can one more time. What color should I paint so this color is left over from, when I used to be married. And so I'm trying to think, what color do I want to paint my kitchen? If you have any ideas as to what color I should paint my kitchen so that it would, I don't know, maybe look better on these live streams that I'm doing, because I plan on doing more cooking shows. My daughter, we've done a cooking show for years for a couple of years, we did constant cooking. We didn't do that many. It was spread out over a couple of years. But what color do you think I should paint this kitchen? What is some of the most popular colors. Whether you're watching live or the replay, go ahead and feel free to mention whatever that is. All right. So this steak looks like it's a little bit. I actually have another pan that's much larger that's in the garage. I probably could have used that, but I will bend the steak and make it fit. There will be some shrinkage as I pick up the avocado that I dropped on the ground. There will be some shrinkage, so it may fit in the pan as we move forward. All right, so let me go ahead and go to my other view here as I'm going, and I'm going to put a square of butter in there. Oh yeah, baby. It is ready. It is on like Donkey Kong. All right. Oh, perfect. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
So I'm going to allow that to cook for 3 minutes without turning it or moving it around. I really want to get as much of that that side of the meat cooked really crisp and seal in those juices. As far as I know, that's what you're supposed to do. Again, I am not saying that I am the chef du jour of any sort as this is going. But I have liked the steaks that I've made lately. So they have been really good. All right, that is cooking there. Yeah, I think it's already starting to shrink just a smidgy. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this paper here and toss that away. I'm going to prepare my plate. Sorry for the racket. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of my ceviche on the plate here, which is a little bit of octopus. Actually, it's all octopus. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. What the hell? So octopus ceviche with some radishes, cucumbers in there. Looks so good and tasty. And then I'm going to put my mushrooms over here. Burgundy. Oh, man. I got more food on the ground. Nice. Oh, that looks so good. I'm going to have one of these out now. Just to make sure that it's not getting overcooked. Oh, perfect. So nice. All right, so what are you guys doing on this Sunday evening? I have a little work that I have to do tomorrow, so I was thinking about after I get done with this meal, I might go on the computer, look at some of the stuff I have for tomorrow and kind of lay out my schedule. I know David Everett and I, we have to talk about some business with detection dogs. And I think I have some other friends that I'm doing some work with in regard to legal stuff. But like you, I've had a couple jobs that I was meant to do, some security jobs, a YouTube shot that I was supposed to do with a YouTube influencer with 5 million viewers. We were supposed to do that shoot this Thursday. That looks like that's all going to go away now. So like you, I have jobs that have gone away. And it makes me sad because some of them were pretty lucrative. Alexa, stop. The timer's going to go off. And so I'm going to throw in another cube of butter. I know. I love the butter. As the and oh, perfect. Nice. I think I may be a master chef. I'm not sure. Because I just actually make this stuff up as I go. Look at that. Woo! That is so freaking tasty. I wish I could zoom in. Let me see if I can. No, I'm not going to be able to. Oh, yeah, I can. Hold on. Look at the way that steak looks right there. Oh, yeah, baby. I may not have to do the sides. There is a good chance I may not have to do the sides because you look at this this crispiness there. Beautiful. The other side. Oh, Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. I should have set a timer
Starting now.
right when I did it, but I didn't do it. So tasty. I may, just for a short period of time, do those other edges. I don't know, but that looks so good, doesn't it? So tasty. Oh, I'm zoomed in here, but it's not zoomed in on the screen. Oh, well, can't seem to do it. All right. So again, tell me what you think as we're cooking. Do you guys like avocado? Do you like, look at this. I'm going to be so full. I'm going to go ahead and come over here and kind of show you a little bit of this here. So that's what the plate is going to look like as it is cooking. So I got my ceviche, got my mushrooms here, got the avocado. I'm sure I'm not going to finish all that avocado. I may have to save some of that for breakfast or something like that. Got the steak cooking over here. All good stuff. Let me zoom in there. Only takes a couple minutes to cook. 46 seconds left on that particular timer. And I'm going ahead and show you this this cold brew that I have here. This is the Jameson cold brew with coffee. It is so, it's just got a different flavor. Like if you have been tasting whiskey and you know, you're like this like regular Jamesons or oh gosh, now I can't think of any of the names of the other stuff. What's the monkey one? There's a couple that one I like that's something like Crazy Monkeys whiskey, Bullet Rye, Bullet Whiskey, all very good flavors, but they all have that generally same type of flavor to them. And then now you have this one that has a cold brew. Alexa, stop. It's just like, it's like finding that new beer, right? You have this beer flavor that you kind of like, and then you find a new beer that is completely different than all the rest. That's kind of how I feel about this cold brew, or yeah, cold brew Jameson whiskey. All right. Again, I see people watching. What do you guys got to comment? Tell me what it is that I'm doing wrong. Tell me if I'm doing something right. It's okay. I love hearing oops. I love hearing comments from people, and I like to know other ways of cooking. Go ahead, and I'm going to actually throw this on the other side here. So like I said before, this steak happens to have, now I'm going to maybe cook it for a minute on the side. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute. Starting now.
So anybody else have experience with the hanger steak? Do you like it? Is it tasty? Or am I the only person on the planet that knows about the hanger steak? Is that possible? Do you like live streaming? Have you gotten live streaming this? I'm using something called StreamYard. You go to getstreamyard.live. I can put that banner up here. And this is how you can do these shows. Go to getstreamyard.live. And you know, you can set up groups with your private group on Facebook with just your family. You can set up a private group with just the people that you work with and meet up with them and do a Facebook Live. StreamYard. Also, I'm broadcasting to YouTube and Twitter and Twitch all at the same time. Alexa, stop. And so if that's a preferred social media platform you like to use, like YouTube or Twitter, then you can just go live on one of those. Alexa, stop. So I use StreamYard to go live on all of the platforms all at the same time. I have not created a channel for CV19LiveTV yet, but that's coming up. I'll be doing that. Go ahead and do this other side here. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute. Starting now.
Oh, I wish you could smell it. I wish we had smell-o-vision. If we had smell-o-vision, you would really enjoy this. All right. It is looking so good. All right. Another thing that you might want to know about is something called strategicmarketingtoday.com. Strategicmarketingtoday.com. That is a platform I put together to teach people how to do Facebook Lives, how to write their own, get started writing their own book, how to make an online training program if they have a particular a particular skill set and they want to teach other people how to do it. All that can be found in strategicmarketingtoday.com. I also do live training on the private group called Strategic Marketing Today. And I do training from time to time to show you how to use these cameras, a second camera to do a live stream, what it is you need to know to be able to do that. All of this can be done in StreamYard, by the way. Alexa, stop. For some reason, it doesn't stop when there's 10 seconds left. I'm not sure why. So go to getstreamyard.live. All right, let me go ahead and get rid of that. Alexa, stop. All right, so now I'm going to turn this down. And just to make sure I get a little bit more of that steak cooked. Now, again, I like a rare steak, but I don't like it like so that it's, mooing still. I'm just like a little bit past the mooing. And so when you cook it on a high heat, like I did here, where it sears the outside, the inside is not cooking because it's not taking as long. We're cooking that outside, sealing in the flavors, sealing in the juices, and then the inside, the middle of it is going to be fairly red. So I'm going to cook, it's a minute or two on all four sides, just kind of stopping. And usually for me, that makes it about where I like. I'm going to cut it open before I end this video to show you what it looks like on the inside. And again, for me to see that it's exactly where I want it to be. All right. So again, I hope this is enjoyable. I'm not seeing any comments from anybody, but I see people are watching. And the number keeps going up and then it comes down and goes back up again. So there's people kind of catching what's happening here. So again, just for those of you that have just joined, this is a hanger steak from the butchery, which is in Brea, California. I will share the address, the location of that place in the comments after I get done. I'm just now gotten to the point where I'm cooking on the other side. I do like this little bit of a really well cooked on the outside, but flavorful on the inside. I got to fix the feet to my oven because you see all the juices come to one side. That's both good and bad, right? I think it actually is not completely horrible because I do like that I can now kind of soak it in that butter and the juices of the steak. I do like that. But I should fix it so that it's level and I don't get, a pan that has all the juices going to one side. Again, from time to time, it actually works out. Sometimes I will cook toast in the bacon grease if I'm making a bacon sandwich on the side that doesn't have all the grease because it flows to the side. So I'll put 2 slices of bread on this side that doesn't have the pool of the grease and toast some bread there. And then I pull it out, and then that's how I make the breakfast sandwich for the kids. And they seem to like it that way. So that's one thing. That's one advantage of having an oven that's kind of tilted. I see that they're going to be showing the Passion of Christ on Fox Nation, which is an app. What do you think of the Passion of Christ? Is that something that you like to watch? Does it bother you? Do you not watch it because it's so graphic? I'm considering watching it over the next couple of days and whether I should have my children watch it. It's a pretty graphic thing. We had the lead actor, the actor who played Jesus Christ. He actually spoke at our church, and he talked about all the things that happened while they were filming, all these unusual situations that began to occur. And I can't even think of what they were, but they were like, oh my gosh, that's odd. Like things where he was like getting hurt, like painfully hurt, but then something positive would come out of it. And it was really interesting to hear him speak. If you ever get a chance to hear him speak on the filming of the Passion of the Christ, then don't miss it. Make sure that you go because he has some really cool stories. And nobody mentioned whether the sound was good. I'm hoping at the end of this that I wasn't just simply talking to myself because nobody mentioned. I'm assuming if you didn't say, I can't hear you, that you obviously can hear me. Normally I check it. All right. So I'm just about done. I'm going to let it cook just a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take it off and then put it over here. So I really got it cooked on the outside. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's cooked all the way through on the inside. And that's kind of how I like it. I like this really cooked outside and this raw on the inside. I mentioned I love this whiskey. As we're cooking here. So good. All right. So let's see. I'll go ahead and slice it open. I'll go ahead and turn that off for now. All right, let's take a little slice. Oh, looks like I may have to cook a little bit longer. I can already tell. Yes, I got to cook a little bit longer. Sometimes my thing doesn't like. Anybody else have that problem? So I have to use a striker. Watch this, it's going to go boom. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in there. So now I'm going to reduce the heat down to a much lower level and let it cook a little bit longer on the inside. Boy, does that look good though. So this is where you just have to have patience as you're cooking. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. So you've seen the meal that I've cooked and how easy it is. Let me just review one more time. I've seen a couple people join, and I'm going to go ahead and go to a solo shot here. Just really fast. Is that we have the steak cooking there, which I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer, like I said before. I got my ceviche here, which is octopus and cucumbers and radishes and cilantro and a little vinaigrette that's in the ceviche. I got the burgundy wine and marinated mushrooms right here. And then I made and cut an avocado, sauteed it with olive oil and balsamic vinegar and grated salt and pepper, sea salt, which is right here, and extra virgin olive oil. And so that's sitting there soaking, and that's going to be my meal. Again, we're going to let that cook a little bit longer. I think it's going to be fantastic. And this is where you just kind of play with it a little bit and cook it, and then make sure that you're turning it over a little bit more often. So now you don't make that outside even more crispy and dark. You don't want to burn the outside. You just want it well done. So you have a little bit of a crust on there, but you want to be careful and flip it over often. As a matter of fact, it's time for me to flip it over. And keep doing that until the inside gets a little bit more cooked. You can tell by when I was going to slice it in there that how it was still so soft and just needs a little bit more time. All right. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of COVID-19 live TV. This is a little side video of cooking in the kitchen with Andy, talking a little bit about the kids that are at home with parents that maybe are not the greatest parents. I want you to think about them. I don't know what the solution is. I know that that is an issue that maybe needs to be addressed at some point to check on some kids that are in homes that, that are maybe a little bit more difficult. So just think about that just a little bit. And then everybody take care of themselves. Don't touch your face, wash your hands, and I will see you at the next one. All right. Thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for your comments that commented. And if you're watching the replay, please just write your comments in there. Tell me if there's any better way for me to do what I'm doing. And I'd love to hear all of it, whatever it is you have to say. I'm open and want to know how I can best serve you during these times that we're going to be stuck in our homes. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.